I wonder, is he thinking of his own reputation after this? Because he came into tonight and there's a huge amount of talk. A lot of Manchester United fans, I'm sure, watching this programme this evening thinking, you know, I'm sure some of them want him to be the next manager, maybe some don't, but certainly wanting to see how he does and whether he takes this PSG team to Champions League glory. Real Madrid, the big talk was that maybe he might be a candidate for there. So where does his reputation lie? Or is he absolved because of the shenanigans that goes on in PSG?
He's not absolved, no. I mean, it's your job as a manager to galvanise, to organise, to get that team spirit that I spoke about earlier that they lacked. It's your job to give that to the players. It's difficult when you're managing the type of players that they are managing. It's difficult when you have a declining Lionel Messi and you have to play him. Where do you fit him in? I thought the first leg he found a great spot for him. Didn't need to change, but obviously Neymar being Neymar, he had to get him back in the team, so he swapped it around.
He's been told to play these players. Do you think?
Maybe not directly, but I think there's definitely a kind of a show that he should be playing them. But look, I think a little bit of that, I know we were a bit hard on him there in that interview, but there is a little bit of that there. He's probably thinking about the French league, because a result like tonight could potentially, you know, the wheels could come off and that place could disintegrate.
They're not going to give up a 13-point
tomorrow
lead.
morning. And what?
They're not going to give up a 13-point lead.
Well, I tell you what, Tom, if the wheels came off, there's every chance.
Well,
but I suppose he is.
They lost two of the last three away.
Do you think he's worried about his own reputation now and the talk that was about him and his? I don't think
on the night it'll be a frustration tonight, and he knows what comes with this. They usually get rid of the manager. I mean, Ancelotti's on the other side there, and they got rid of Ancelotti, one of the great managers, because he won the Champions League. He was only there a year and a half, I think, and he won the French league, but that wasn't enough to satisfy them. We saw with Tuchel, we saw all the previous fellas that they got rid of, because with the money they spend, they expect to win the Champions League, and they haven't done it yet. So it'll make it easier, I suppose. But
do you think now, Brian, if you were in the boardroom, the positions of power at some of these other big clubs, do you think that he's a man? No, he's still a a manager to go and get, like if you're at Old Trafford or one of the big clubs?
I think that they will. The big clubs will still. I think clubs look at PSG as a bit of a kind of a very strange, hard to manage club, that they are like Chelsea didn't have hesitation in taking Tuchel, even though he was sacked. And everybody knew Tuchel was a very, very good manager, as they understood with, Mourinho and Ancelotti and managers like that. They don't build their reputation on one club alone, although in Pochettino probably did on the length of time he was at Spurs. I mean, he came from Espanyol. He had done a good job at Espanyol until the last season, and they struggled badly, but he built them up very well. It was over a period of time at Spurs from the position he inherited.
And Southampton as well.
Southampton prior to Spurs. But, the reputations don't usually come on one job. So I think his status will still be strong despite tonight.
And I think if, for instance, if Manchester United were interested in him or Real Madrid were interested in him, they wouldn't just judge him by sitting home watching the game on TV. Yeah. There's an interview process, and like any interview, what went wrong at your last job? Tell us what you want.
Tell us why you left your last job.
Yeah, and of course then there'll be a process where Manchester United will do their homework on the structures and the powers that be, the problems he would have faced, and they probably will have to weigh that up and say, well, actually, that was an incredibly difficult situation. So it's not just us saying here on one game.
And I think the evidence of the work, if you go back to the Spurs Southampton work he did, it was the balance of incorporating new players into the squad, buying good players, and bringing through young players from their own system. Like
can I just